With the success of Resident Evil 2, Capcom began working on a multitude of Resident Evil projects. Code Veronica was originally an attempt to port Resident Evil 2 to the Sega Saturn. Shinji Mikami and his team were informed that this would not be possible due to the large sacrifices that would have to be made. Instead, they were asked to work on a new project that could be ported over to Sega consoles, and so the team began working on a new project. Code Veronica's story and design moved away from what many had seen from this series at the time, with the game moving away from America and towards new environments set in the Antarctic and in a gothic-inspired design of purpose. This gothic feel is seen and felt throughout the game, whether it be the artistic work seen throughout or the story itself, that focuses on a noble bloodline in a castle. To add to this, the game tells a story through a lullaby, which was done intentionally in order to bring out European operatic undertones. This contrasts to the pain horror seen in previous games that were inspired by American monster movies. Mikami split the team up, letting them work on what they were interested in. So if a worker was interested in environments, they were sent out to photograph houses and castles for research, which in turn they would work on implementing into the game, whereas those who enjoyed weapons would work on designing the guns used throughout the game. Due to the upgrades in technology, Capcom were able to do more with the game's design. For example, zombies were improved so that their jaws and eyes would move and twitch. The game's story follows Claire and Chris Redfield as the two look to escape from a viral outbreak on a remote island in the Pacific and a secret base in the Antarctic. Due to Claire's previous experiences, her character was designed to be more tough and confident. This can be seen in her ability to use dual weapons, which was a first in Resident Evil. Code Veronica was released in 2000 and was a commercial success, selling 2.54 million units. Interestingly, the game was expanded on, as the original version of the game was made for the Dreamcast, which had a small user base compared to other platforms. To make up for this, Capcom expanded Code Veronica, and this was released in 2001, titled Resident Evil Code Veronica X, which included new cutscenes and improved graphical alterations. Critically, the game received universal acclaim, with many critics believing it to be the best Resident Evil game at the time, and with some calling it the best horror game made. The game itself was praised for its atmosphere, graphics, use of a real-time background, dynamic cameras, music, sound design, and its story. Code Veronica won a number of rewards, including Best Adventure Game, Best Graphics, Game of the Year, and Best Sound. Game Informer in 2001 ranked Resident Evil Code Veronica as the 69th in their top 100 games of all time. So once again, let's step back into the world of survival horror.
The American Midwestern town, Raccoon City, has been completely decimated due to the T-virus outbreak that was instigated by the international corporation Umbrella. Claire Redfield, who arrived in Raccoon City to search for her lost brother Chris, and a rookie police officer, Leon S. Kennedy, managed to escape from the city. But their ordeal was only a prelude of things to come. Three months later.
Your identification number is WKD 4496. Welcome to your new home.
Her name is Claire Redfield. We caught her trespassing in our Paris lab facility 10 days ago. She apparently infiltrated the complex looking for her lost brother, Chris Redfield, one of the surviving members of RPD's famous STARS teams.
Don't move.
Perfect. Go on. Get out of here. This place is finished. I don't know, it might have been a special forces team. But in any case, this prison's been taken over. The troops have been wiped out.
What are you saying?
You're free to leave the complex. But you may as well know you have no chance of getting off this island.
And what about you? What are you going to do?
Don't worry about me.
With her lighter lit, Claire makes her way up the stairs, preparing herself for the horror above. Claire needs to get out of there and fast. She sprints past them. By now, Claire knows shooting them would be a waste of time. After dodging their oncoming attacks, Claire makes it to an unlocked door.
Wait, don't shoot!
Who are you?
Huh? You're not a zombie. Well, great. Wait right there. I'm coming over. Sorry about that little misunderstanding, but I thought you were another one of those monsters.
Shut up. Make one wrong move and I'll shoot.
Relax, beautiful. I said I was sorry. My name's Steve. I was a prisoner on this island. And I'm guessing you're not from Umbrella either.
No, I'm Claire. Claire Redfield.
Claire? Nice. I'll remember that. Hey, I heard there's an airport around here. And once I find it, I can finally escape from this crazy island. I'll see ya.
Hey, wait up!
I don't want you following me, lady. You'll only slow me down.
After that slightly awkward interaction, Claire decides to look for a way off the island. She makes her way through a door. Claire is now in the prison barracks. She begins sweeping her way through the rooms, hoping to find anything useful. The barracks are full of the undead. Claire immediately begins firing at them. She is used to this by now. After dealing with them, Claire begins searching the area. She finds some interesting notes. It seems that the prisoners were being used for experiments. With this new information, Claire continues on. Claire begins firing. They are coming from every direction. After a tense fight, Claire manages to kill them. She notices that one of the undead has something attached to them. It is a pair of submachine guns. Claire takes them. They could help her in the fight to get off this island. With the cabin dealt with, Claire makes her way back outside. Something is stalking her. Claire knows she must stay on guard. After shooting her way through a number of the undead, Claire makes her way into a new building.
Please deposit any metallic items you have in the security box.
It seems Claire will have to give up all of her weapons if she wants to continue on forward. She puts them in the box and makes her way into the next room. In there she finds a report by the chief prison guard. Claire needs to get that silver case she saw earlier.
Chris Redfield.
What are you doing here?
Chris Redfield. Is he a relative of yours or something?
You mean my brother?
Ah, your siblings. Well, it seems your brother is under surveillance by Umbrella.
What? I've got to contact Leon and tell him to let my brother know he's being monitored. It's a good thing I have access to an outside connection from here.
Well, that file shows the latitude and longitude of this place. Why don't you send your brother the coordinates and ask him to come help?
Thanks, I'll do that.
Hey, I was just kidding. There's no way he could get here, even if he is your brother.
Yes, he can, I'm sure of it.
No way. He won't come. You'll just end up disappointed if you rely on others. Believe me, I know.
What was that all about?
After another strange conversation, Claire continues to search the room. She grabs a hawk emblem and pushes a lever up. With that, Claire continues on. She heads over to the 3D printer. She places the hawk emblem on it. She then scans the emblem. Now that the data is complete, Claire just needs to get to that case. She heads out of the building, making sure to pick up her weapons in the process. As she makes her way through the area, Claire is attacked. Claire pulls out her pistol and begins firing. Luckily, she manages to kill them all before they can get to her. She can now continue on. Claire continues heading back to the metal case she saw earlier. Claire runs for her life. She has dealt with these before. She makes sure to dodge their oncoming attacks. She manages to get through the door just in time. Claire makes her way through the graveyard, making sure to kill any zombies that get in her way. She then uses the firing extinguisher she found earlier to put out the fire. With the case in hand, Claire makes her way back to the building she was in earlier. Once there, she opens the case and grabs the anti-metal detection alloy. Claire deposits her weapons and heads over to the 3D printer, where she inserts the alloy. The printer uses it in order to make a copy of the hawk emblem. Claire can now take it out of the facility without setting off all of the alarms. The zombies have broken through the windows and Claire no longer has her weapons. She will need to be quick. Claire sprints past their oncoming attacks. She cannot allow the rest of them to get through. Luckily, Claire makes it past them. She grabs her weapons and leaves the building. Claire makes her way to the metal gate she saw earlier on and inserts the hawk emblem. Claire can now get out of this part of the island. She makes her way across a semi-broken bridge. On the other side, Claire finds a gothic building. She makes her way inside. Claire is slightly taken back by the mansion's building. She makes her way up the stairs and into a room on the right-hand side. In there, she finds the secretary's note. The note details the strange situation the secretary seems to be in. She is unable to enter her employer's private house, and on top of that, he does not allow anyone to see his twin sister. It is strange. Claire does not have time to think about it, however. As she looks through the room, Claire notices something under the dresser. She moves it out of the way. Underneath is an umbrella ID card. Claire grabs it, as it may be useful later on. With this new item in hand, Claire makes her way out of the room and she begins exploring the rest of the castle. She heads over to a computer in the main hall and uses the ID card. This unlocks a nearby door. Claire makes her way inside. On the other side of the room is more zombies. Claire makes quick work of them. She then makes her way into the room and to the end of the hallway. In there, Claire finds a button. She decides to press it. That certainly was an unnerving video. It seems to, however, unlocked a new area. In there are 2 guns. Claire quickly places them back down. It seems she will have to find a way of stopping that from happening. As Claire makes her way out of the room, she picks up a ship's wheel. She has no idea what this could be used for, but she takes it anyway. Claire then leaves the room. She makes her way back into the main hallway.
Yeah! Help me!
Steve?
Claire sprints to Steve.
That was too close. But I found something, thanks to you. Looks cool, huh?
Oh, I need those. Give them to me.
You gotta be kidding. I found it and I'm keeping it. Fine. Let's make a deal. I'll trade you for something fully automatic. See you around, Claire. Adios.
Hey, wait! Steve!
Claire has saved Steve's life, but he has taken the pistols Claire tried to get earlier on. With Steve gone again, Claire makes her way back into the main hall.
Redfield! How dare you interfere with my operation?
What are you talking about?
You let yourself be captured so you could lead your people to this base!
I have no idea what you're babbling about.
You don't fool me! I am Alfred Ashford, commander of this base.
Oh? You must be one of Umbrella's lower level officers if you're in command of a backwater base like this one.
How dare you! The Ashford family is among the world's first and finest. My grandfather is one of the original founders of Umbrella, Inc. Now tell me, why have you attacked this installation?
Attacked?
Shortly after you arrived, my base was attacked. You must have informed your people of its location.
I still don't follow you. I really don't know anything about that.
Unacceptable! How can you deny it? My base has been destroyed. And thanks to you, the experimental T-virus was released, creating countless zombies and monsters. Tell me, who do you work for? Who sent you? Have it your way, then. You're just a rat in a cage anyway. I'll be sure to keep you entertained before I dispose of you.
Well, he was possibly the strangest man Claire has ever met, but she has met Umbrella's staff just like him. Claire continues on with her mission to get off the island. Claire decides to search the mansion, eventually coming across a metal case. With the mansion clear, Claire leaves and heads down the side of the building. She uses the wheel she found earlier on. Claire enters the submarine and begins searching around. As Claire makes her way through, she is confronted with a number of zombies that she quickly deals with. Eventually, Claire reaches a warehouse area where she uses a crane to lift up the boxes in the way. Once this is done, Claire heads down and pushes a lever. Claire acts quickly. She moves her way through them and grabs the biohazard card. With this new item, Claire leaves the submarine and heads towards a new area of the island. Claire needs to get out of there. She knows she cannot kill it. Claire sprints for the first door she sees. Once in the new building, Claire begins to explore. She fights her way through the close quarters of the locker rooms, eventually making it to the pool, where she uses a wheel to stop the water from flowing. This reveals a device. Claire cannot use it right now as it is broken. Claire leaves the room and gets the shutters lifted.
Welcome, Claire. Consider the area you are in a special playground I have prepared just for you. Please try and keep me amused, and do not disappoint me by dying too soon. I so want to enjoy this.
Claire knows she's going to have to fight her way out of here. She prepares herself and begins making her way through the building. Claire makes her way into the only unlocked door. Claire uses her machine guns. She has dealt with monsters like this before. After firing at it a number of times, it collapses. Claire continues on through the warehouse.
Oh yeah, that felt good. Don't worry, Claire. Your knight in shining armor is here.
You wish. But thanks for the help.
See? This is why you need me. I got your back.
Whatever. Here. Take these.
Machine guns? For me?
You know the deal. In exchange for your Lugers.
Okay. This thing is too cool. Yes! Now this is my kind of weapon. All right! Huh? Hey, this thing's empty. You cheated me.
Up there. Plenty of ammo. Just for you.
Way up there?
Give me a boost and I'll get it for you.
All right. Ow! My back! You're heavier than you look. Hurry up!
Happy now?
What?
Now that your knight has made his appearance, he can join you in your descent into death.
Okay, let's do it! Wait here, Claire. Time to test out my new toy.
Steve makes his way into the new area, using his new machine guns to make quick work of the undead. Steve continues to make his way through the area, killing any undead he sees. Once he kills them all, Steve makes his way back to Claire.
It was dirty work, but this area is now clean. See? You can depend on me. You see? This thing is a lot more reliable than any person.
Than people? Steve, what were you doing here? Who brought you here, and where is your family?
Shut up! I don't want to talk about it!
Steve.
Never mind. Let's get going. Claire, are you okay?
Steve, behind you!
No.
What's wrong, Steve? Shoot him!
Wait! I can't! No!
Steve! No! Ah! Steve.
Father. 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 Dad used to work for Umbrella. Tried to steal information, intending to sell it off to the highest bidder. He was caught. Mom was killed, and we were sent here.
Oh, Steve.
He was a fool to do something so reckless. So stupid.
It's okay now. Just rest.
Claire leaves Steve to mourn. She continues to look for a way out. After fighting her way through a hallway filled with the undead, Claire makes it to an art room, where she picks up an eagle plate. Claire grabs it and makes her way out of the building, Here she avoids the sandworm's oncoming attacks. Claire heads back to where she was attacked earlier on by Alfred and uses the eagle plate to open up a compartment where she is able to obtain an emblem card. Claire heads out of the building and down a ladder. It is here that Claire uses the emblem card to open up a gate. Behind it is a grenade launcher. Claire feels much more prepared now. She heads back upstairs and heads to the control room. Claire heads over to a nearby computer. Claire needs to be careful. She hopes she will never have to meet this monster. Claire searches the area and grabs an army proof. She then looks into the monitor. Here she looks around the room and finds numbers written on a painting. She makes a note of them and then continues on. Claire heads over to the room she saw on the monitor where she grabs the painting.
Biohazard contamination detected. Level 3. Emergency shutters will close. All personnel evacuate immediately.
Claire needs to get out of there. She begins sprinting out of the door. After a close call, Claire makes it just in time. She heads back to the art room and places the picture on the wall there. This reveals a new area. Here, Claire is able to grab the gold key. With this new item, Claire heads back to the mansion. She uses the gold key to open up a new wing. In there, she finds a huge painting. Claire also finds a piece of paper. She begins reading. Using the clues she has just read, she begins making her way through the room, pressing the buttons next to each painting in the right order. This switches the paintings. Claire grabs the vase underneath. She looks inside of it and finds a queen and an object. With this new item in hand, Claire makes her way out of the room and heads upstairs. Claire finds a door that requires the golden guns. She places them on the door. This unlocks it. Claire finds a piece of paper in the room that contains a code. She makes a note of that and continues to explore the new area. She types in the code. Claire dodges the monster's oncoming attacks and makes her way through the hidden passage. Claire heads towards the ominous building. As she does, Claire is attacked by a number of monsters. She dodges their oncoming attacks and continues to make her way up the building. After a difficult trek, Claire finally makes it.
Keep focused, brother. Our enemy is only a little girl. Oh, why is this taking so long?
My apologies, Alexia, but I have been doing my best.
The revival of the Ashford family depends on your success, brother.
I am aware of that, Alexia. I will revive the family name myself and make you the master of the glorious Ashford family.
Do not worry, brother. I will handle them both myself. Who is there? Is someone at the corridor?
What is it, Alexia?
Nothing. I believe I must have been imagining things.
Let us go, brother.
Claire has now met the infamous Alexia. Claire knows that she will be trouble in the future. Claire continues exploring the building. In the next room, she finds herself in a bedroom. Claire heads over to the music box, but as she does, it closes. However, Claire notices a queen ant hole on top. Claire places the ant in there. This opens up the music box, allowing Claire to grab the music disc. With this new item in hand, Claire heads out of the building and heads back to the castle. Once there, Claire heads through a new door. In there, she finds Hunk's report. After reading it, Claire begins to understand more about what happened here. She heads over to the centre of the room and grabs another eagle plate. With that, Claire leaves the room. She heads out of the castle and heads back to the prisoners' area. Once Claire arrives at the execution area, she uses the eagle plate to open up a new area. Almost immediately, Claire shoots her way through the undead, making it to a new building. She begins exploring. Upon reaching the other side, Claire is confronted with more zombies. She uses her machine guns to make quick work of them. She is in a furnace room. In there, she grabs a metallic briefcase. Claire then takes a deep breath and heads through the door she came through earlier. Claire kills the doctor as quickly as possible. Once dead, Claire searches the body and grabs a glass eye. She then reads the doctor's notes. After that, Claire places the eye on the body. This opens up a new area. Claire heads downstairs and begins shooting her way through. After killing the zombies, she heads down another flight of stairs and through a door. In the next room is a number of statues. Claire grabs a rusty sword. Claire knows she must act quickly. She grabs the lever and begins pushing the statue around. She manages to close the vents just in time. Claire places the sword where the statues used to be. Instead of killing the zombie, Claire leads it away. She then makes her way over to where it used to be and grabs the piano roll. With this new item in hand, Claire heads all the way back to her prison cell.
What are you doing here? Hemostatic medicine. How kind of you. Thanks.
Here, let me help you with that.
Thanks, but I can take care of myself. Just go.
Keep it. It was a gift from my brother, but...
Thanks. Here, let me give you this in return. You might need it later on. Now go. Don't worry about me.
Claire now has a lockpick. She knows this will be very useful. Claire knows she can unlock new areas in the mansion. She makes her way back over there.
Greetings. You must be the lovely Claire Redfield.
Who are you?
Let's just say that I'm a ghost, coming back to haunt your dear brother.
Wesker?
It seems there's not much explaining to do, is there? I was the one who attacked this island. Who'd have thought you'd be hanging about? All the better for me. Now that the cat dragged in this nice surprise, your ever so caring brother will definitely show up. I must thank you for being such good bait.
I don't know what went on between you two, but you have him all wrong. My brother is not the kind of person you think he is.
I despise Chris.
What are you gonna do to him?
Oh, how your brother will weep to see you die. What? What is it? Stay there. I'm coming. It appears you may be of some further use to me. I'm going to let you live a little longer.
Claire has now been introduced to Wesker. She doesn't have time to dwell on what just happened. She must carry on with the task at hand. Claire heads into the mansion. She heads upstairs and unlocks the door on the left. In there is a casino. At the end of the room is a piano. Claire inserts the piano roll. This unlocks a hidden compartment where Claire grabs a king blue ant object. Claire knows exactly where to go. She heads all the way back up to the building at the top of the island. As she makes her way there, Claire is attacked by a number of zombies. She draws her pistol and begins firing. She makes quick work of them. At this point, this is nothing new to her. After continuing on, Claire makes it to the top of the tower, where she inserts the blue ant on top of the box. This opens up a music box. Claire inserts the music box plate, which reveals a hidden entrance. Claire makes her way up the ladder. Up there is a huge carousel, as well as other toys. Claire is able to find a silver dragonfly, which after inspection, Claire removes the wings from. She then inserts this object into a nearby hole. This moves the carousel. Claire once again climbs up a ladder to reach an even higher level. After exploring, Claire finds a confession letter. After reading it, Claire finds an object underneath, an Air Force proof. With this new item, Claire begins to make her way out of the building.
Claire Redfield, hold it right there. We meet each other at last. A pity I must say goodbye so soon. I am Alexia Ashford, for the pride of the Ashford family.
I will kill you!
Wait!
What's going on?
Steve! A secret door!
After her!
Are you okay?
I'm fine. It's just a scratch.
This must be...
What? No!
Wait a second. What just happened?
So there never was an Alexia after all.
You mean he thinks he's two people? Okay, that's it. Let's get out of here.
Steve has saved Claire. They begin to make their way out.
Self-destruct system
What?
has been
Alfred's insane.
activated.
He's trying to blow
All
this entire
personnel
place up.
Evacuate immediately.
Claire! Those must be the remaining survivors.
We'd better get out of here too.
Right. Let's go.
The two need to get out of there. They begin heading towards the airport. They head down into the submarine and use it to head to the lab. Once there, they make their way through the oncoming zombies, eventually making it to a lift. Here, Claire inserts all of the proofs she has collected. This activates the lift, which transports them to a nearby plane.
No! We can't take off unless we raise the bridge.
Leave that to me. You stay here and make the preparations for takeoff.
Activated. All personnel evacuate immediately.
They need to raise the bridge. Claire grabs the control lever and heads outside. She makes her way through the undead and heads back to the higher levels of the facility. It is here that she inserts the lever, allowing the bridge to be raised. Claire begins sprinting back to the plane.
I will not allow you fools to escape. This is what you get for trying to oppose me. Now feel my revenge.
Claire is unaware what is happening. She's focused on getting out of there before it is too late. She sprints across a bridge. Claire begins firing her grenade launcher. She cannot allow it to get too close. She has dealt with things like this before. After firing a number of shots, it collapses. She continues to sprint back to the plane. Claire calls her submarine back and heads inside. She uses it to head back to the facility. Once there, she sprints through the halls and makes it to the plane just in time.
All personnel evacuate.
What took you so long? I was starting to get worried.
No time to explain. Let's go.
Right. We're out of here. Time to say goodbye to this death trap. We made it! Yahoo!
Ugh, it's finally over.
Claire, I'm sorry. I know I caused a lot of trouble for you.
No, it's okay. It was hard for both of us.
Well, I really hope you find your brother. I know what it's like to be alone.
Oh, Steve.
So, where should we go now? I can take you anywhere you want to go, Claire.
I hear Hawaii's nice this time of year.
You got it!
This game is not over yet. Now you will see what real terror is all about.
Hey! What the? The cargo room hatch is open!
I'll go back and check it out.
Thanks. I've unlocked the cargo room door.
Something has happened. Claire makes her way back to see what might have just made it on board. Claire knows she must fight for her life. She begins firing her grenade launcher at it. It is more powerful than before. Claire finds it difficult to avoid its oncoming attacks. Claire hits a button which launches the cargo. This nearly knocks it off the back of the plane. Claire knows she must injure it more first. She begins firing at it again. The tyrant begins moving at a slower pace. She can see the blood pouring from it. She knows now is the right time. Claire sprints back to the button and hits it.
What was wrong?
Oh, nothing. Just a giant cockroach that had to be stepped on. What's happening?
I don't know. The plane just changed direction on its own. It's flying in autopilot mode. I can't switch over to manual control.
My apologies, but I cannot let you escape now.
Alfred! You cross-dressing freak!
Hey, where are we?
Huh?
Latitude 82.17 degrees. That's the Antarctic. We're over the Antarctic!
What? Those are the seaplanes that left the island right before us.
Then that must mean this place belongs to Umbrella.
Oh. Hey, wake up, Steve.
Oh. We're still alive.
Thanks.
Plane's trashed. Well, let's split up and find another way off this oversized freezer.
Right.
Okay, let's do it.
The two of them are now in an Arctic facility owned by Umbrella. They begin to explore this new area, hoping that there are no monsters here. Claire makes her way into some sleeping quarters, and it is here that she realizes something bad happened here too. Claire fights them off. At this point, she's expected no less from an Umbrella facility. She manages to get out of the room. Claire continues to make her way down the stairs. She enters a new room, where Claire finds a memo. After reading it, Claire continues to make her way through the facility. Claire acts quickly and kills the giant moth. This allows her to head further into the facility. After fighting her way through the hallways, Claire manages to find a mining room key. She picks it up and continues to make her way around. Claire also finds an assault rifle. She knows this will be useful in her fight to escape this place. Claire finds a room marked BOW. She decides to make her way inside. In there, Claire is attacked by giant spiders. She fights them off. In the room, she finds a barcode sticker. Claire picks it up and heads out of the room. She then places the barcode sticker on a nearby box. Claire then uses the mining key to open up a new door. It is in this new area that Claire is attacked by an old enemy, the Cerberus. Claire uses her new weapons to take them out. Once they are dealt with, Claire presses down the lever located in the room. This seems to turn power back on. Claire heads back to the main warehouse building where she presses a nearby button. This gets the conveyor belt working. The package Claire put the barcode on begins to move. She heads over to the BOW room where she finds the package now opened. In there is a gas mask. Claire picks it up and heads out of the room. Claire continues to explore. Eventually, she finds a hidden room with a letter. She begins reading it. Claire is horrified by what she has just seen. However, she cannot wait around. She grabs a nearby plant pot and heads her way out of the room. Underneath the pot is a key. Claire grabs it and makes her way out of the room. Claire heads around the facility and uses the key to open up a new door. Claire begins exploring this new area. In there, she finds a valve.
Claire, it looks like there's an Australian observation base about 7 miles away from here. That should be our target.
Then if we can break through the wall with that digging vehicle, we might have a chance.
Okay, let's do it!
Steve, watch out!
Oh no! It's toxic gas! It's all my fault.
Don't say that. Listen to me. We'll escape from here. Together. Come on. We've got to shut off the gas. If we split up, we'll have a better chance of stopping it.
Okay.
Steve! Don't forget. We'll get out of here. Together.
Steve has screwed up, but they now know what they must do. Claire uses a nearby machine to change the shape of the valve. Claire then applies her gas mask and heads into a nearby room filled with gas. Claire makes her way around the room and eventually makes it to a pipe. It is here that she inserts the valve.
We're safe now. Think again, Claire.
I shall enjoy watching you shriek in agony.
Not this time!
You again!
What was that?
Claire and Steve can now get into the vehicle, but before they do, Claire picks up the sniper rifle. She knows it will be useful.
Claire! What are you doing? Let's go! Are you ready? I'm gonna bust through that wall!
Go for it!
Right! Claire! Maybe we can escape through there!
Come on, let's go!
Claire, come on! Finally, we can get out of this insane place!
Okay, let's go!
Come on, let's go! What, are you scared? Move it! Ah! Ah!
Steve! Hold on, I'll wake that monster and come back.
Claire, forget about me. Run!
Claire needs to kill this thing and save Steve. She uses the sniper rifle she found earlier to aim at its heart. Claire needs to be careful. It is spewing out a horrible poison. Claire continues to avoid its oncoming attacks, but she's been poisoned. This doesn't stop her from fighting, however. She knows she has to save Steve. Claire continues to fire her sniper.
I've got you now. Steve! Are you all right?
Claire! You're alive! I'm sorry. I failed you.
Don't worry about it. Let's go.
I swear I'll protect you next time, Claire.
We did it! We're finally out!
Look! There's a snowmobile over there!
Perfect! We'll be able to ride right over to the Australian base with this.
Yeah! Let's go!
I won't forget about this, Claire. Alexia. Alexia, you're finally awake. Alexia.
What is that?
Following up on a lead given to me by Leon has brought me here. Don't worry, Claire. I'm coming to save you.
Chris is here to look for his sister Claire. He begins to make his way through the cave.
I didn't expect to find another living person left on this island. Who are you?
I came here looking for a certain girl.
A girl?
Have you seen anyone named Claire Redfield?
Did you just say Claire?
You know who she is, don't you?
Don't worry about her. I helped her escape. Several planes took off from this island not long ago. While I can't say for certain, she was probably on one of them.
I see. I guess my sister owes you. Thanks for helping me.
Everyone's gone. I may be the only other person left. Go on. Follow your sister and get off this island.
Chris needs to be careful. That monster could attack at any time. He makes his way through the next door, where he comes face to face with the monster. Chris begins shooting at it, making sure to avoid its oncoming attacks.
Hold on! Don't give up!
Looks like I can meet my family again. Here. Take this.
What?
She gave this to me as a token of thanks for saving her. I won't need it anymore. Take it.
With Claire's lighter in his hand, Chris continues his search for her. Chris uses Claire's lighter to turn on a nearby lamp. This gives him access to 2 machine guns. Chris grabs them and continues on. Chris uses a nearby elevator to make his way to the surface, where he begins taking out any nearby zombies one by one. After killing them all, Chris presses a button located on a nearby tank. This opens up a secret entrance. He heads inside. Once down there, Chris explores the rooms one by one. It is the first room that he finds a golden gun. Chris grabs it as it may be useful later on. Chris heads out of the room and continues on down the small corridor, where he finds a battery pack. Chris has dealt with spiders before, so they do not shock him. He dodges their oncoming attacks and makes his way out of the underground room. He heads back into the island facility, where he uses the battery pack to activate a lift. Chris uses it to explore the upper levels.
There was a friendly but naive king who wed a very nasty queen.
Who is that?
The king was loved, but the queen was feared. Till
Alexia? No! She's already fully awake. Chris, oh little fishy, come see my hook. Chris, I'm sending some company to keep you entertained. Consider this a small welcoming gift from me. Enjoy.
Unaware of what is happening, Chris continues to shoot his way through the undead. He is on a mission and nothing will stop him from achieving it. While looking around, Chris is able to find a doorknob. Chris decides to avoid the monster instead of fighting it. For now, he must preserve his ammunition. Chris heads to the first door of the building, where he uses the doorknob to open up a new area. It is in this new area that Chris finds a tank object. He picks it up and heads to the art room, where he finds a model version of the island. Chris adds the tank to the model. Chris picks up a turntable key and picks up a file. He begins reading. With this new item in hand, Chris heads out of the room and heads to the basement area. Chris then begins heading through the facility, where he hears a familiar voice.
Long time no see, Chris.
Wesker? He's still alive? What are you doing here?
I came for Alexia.
Who?
An organization hired me to capture her.
Wait, you attacked the island! And my sister!
You have no idea how much I hate you. You destroyed my plans, so now I've sold my soul to a new organization. Now, die. Here's a little secret, Chris. I figured out that your sister is now in the Antarctic with Alexia. It's too bad you won't be seeing her again.
Alexia?
Chris needs to act quickly. He now knows where Claire is. He just needs to find a way to get there. He dodges the tyrant's oncoming attacks and heads out of the room. He then heads into a nearby lift and begins heading up. Chris is now in the main areas of the island. He begins shooting his way through the zombies, making quick work of them. He heads over to the evacuation center, where he solves a puzzle in order to get the bridge operational again. After a quick think, Chris solves the puzzle and heads out of the room and back across the bridge. He then presses the button to lower the bridge. This will allow him to explore more of the facility. Chris then heads down to the new area, where he heads across the now lowered bridge. Chris then shoots his way through a number of zombies, eventually reaching another lift. It is here that he picks up 3 proofs. He takes these and heads back into the facility. He makes his way back to the art room, where he inserts all 3 of the proofs into the compartment. A new area has now opened up. Chris heads down the ladder. He makes his way down a narrow path and heads down another ladder. Chris needs to grab the emblem. He heads into the area and begins searching for it. Despite the damage he's taking, Chris knows it is worth it. He must get to Claire. After a panic, Chris manages to find it. With the emblem in hand, Chris heads out of the facility and begins making his way back up to the art room.
Hold on, Claire. I'll save you.
Chris has now made his way to the Arctic facility. He knows Claire is here somewhere. He just needs to find her. As Chris begins to make his way around the facility, he notices weird tentacles everywhere. He shoots at them before walking past. He has seen things like this before. Chris makes his way down to where Claire was attacked by moths and makes his way into a nearby room. In there he finds a paperweight and a file. Chris begins reading it. With this new item in hand, Chris continues to explore the facility. It is eerily quiet. While exploring, Chris picks up the valve Claire had used earlier on. Chris knew it was way too quiet. He is surrounded. Chris pulls out his shotgun and begins firing. Luckily, he's able to deal with them fairly easily. This is nothing he hasn't faced before. Chris heads out of the room and continues to make his way around. He eventually makes his way into a new area where he picks up a suitcase. With this new item in hand, Chris heads out of the room.
What? He's here?
Chris pulls out his shotgun and kills the hunter. He knows Wesker is here too. After fighting his way through some more hunters, Chris makes it to a power room where he uses the valve he found earlier. This seems to get the power back online. Chris makes his way out of the room and fights his way through a number of zombies, eventually making it to an art room. In here, Chris takes an elevator down. Chris has no idea what this thing is, but he doesn't have time to think about it. He grabs the nearby winged object and heads through the bugs, eventually reaching a door. In the room are two zombies. Chris shoots them with his shotgun. He then begins exploring. In there, Chris finds a note. He begins reading. Chris now understands what he must do. He heads out of the room and makes his way into a new room. Chris begins solving a puzzle. After doing so, he inserts the paperweight into a small compartment. Chris picks up a ring from the dead body. He then heads back into the lift and towards a nearby statue of a tiger. Chris takes the left-eyed jewel away. Behind it is a socket. With this new item in hand, he reasserts the blue jewel. Chris then heads outside. It is here that he finds a number of winged objects. Chris then discovers a mansion. He heads inside. It doesn't take long for him to find Claire. However, something is wrong with her. He uses his knife to cut her down.
Claire.
Chris! I missed you so much.
I know. But we have to get out of here.
Not yet. We have to find Steve.
Who's Steve?
He's a boy who escaped from that island with me. But then a monster attacked us and we got separated.
So that means Steve is still somewhere in this base?
I'm sure of it.
Claire? What's wrong?
I think I've been poisoned.
Just hold on. I'll be right back.
Chris has found Claire, but he needs to find a cure for the poison. He pulls himself together and begins his search. Chris makes his way back down to the facility. Once there, he presses a switch. He can now enter the tank. At the bottom of the tank, Chris finds a key for the crane. He takes it and heads back the way he came. Despite the initial shock, Chris is able to pull out his shotgun and begin firing at the monster. It doesn't take him long to kill it. That was close, but Chris is okay. He continues on with the mission at hand. Chris makes his way through a chemicals weapon storage room, killing the undead that roam there. It is in this room that Chris finds the serum. He now has everything he needs to cure Claire. He also uses the firing extinguisher to put out any fires blocking his path. After exploring the room some more, Chris finds a magnum pistol. He picks it up. He knows from previous experience just how much damage this weapon can do. Chris heads towards the crane. Once there, he uses the crane key he found earlier.
Who could have done this? Alexia.
That is how I dispose of insignificant bugs, said the spider to the fly. How do you wish to die?
Chris has dealt with spiders in the past, but never ones this big. He needs to be careful of its oncoming attacks. Instead of trying to kill it, Chris knows his best course of action for now is to avoid it. He quickly grabs Alexia's pierce and runs out of the room. Chris sprints back to Claire and gives her the serum.
Claire, I'll take care of you now. Feeling better?
Thanks to you. Just like a big brother, huh? You're always looking out for your little sister.
It's Alexia!
Alexia? There really is an Alexia?
It is almost time, you genetically inferior siblings.
After her! She might know where Steve is.
Let's go. Chris!
No!
Just go. I'll be fine.
But Chris...
You've got to save Steve. Go!
Claire needs to find Steve. In the distance, she can hear his cries of pain. She stocks up and begins her search. As Claire makes her way through the tight corridors, she is attacked. Claire needs to be careful. She knows how dangerous it will be to get to Steve.
Steve?
Claire?
Who did this to you?
That crazy woman told me she was gonna perform the same experiment on me that she did on her own father. She's completely insane.
What's wrong?
Claire! Can't breathe! Claire! Help me!
No, wait! Steve, you've got to hang in there, okay? My brother's come to save us. We're getting out of here.
Your brother kept his promise. I'm sorry, I cannot.
What? What are you saying?
I'm glad that I met you. I love you, Claire.
Steve? Steve? Steve?
At last, I've found you, Alexia. Come with me. You're responsible for the creation of the T. Veronica virus. And now the only existing sample is in your body. I want it. Now!
You want it? You are not worthy of its power!
You're coming with me. Chris! Wesker. Chris, since you're one of my best men, I'll let you handle this.
Wesker has left Chris to die once again. He will need to use everything he has to survive this. Chris manages to get a bit of distance between him and Alexia. He pulls out his pistol and begins firing. He will need to do his best to avoid the oncoming fire attacks. Chris continues to shoot. Eventually, she collapses. He knows that Alexia is not dead, but he now has enough time to get out of there. He picks up Alexia's choker. He then removes the jewelry from everything he has collected. With this done, Chris inserts each jewel into the family portrait. This reveals a secret door. Chris is not aware that Alexia has awoken. He makes his way down the hallway, killing all of the zombies that get in his way. Eventually, Chris makes his way into a lab, where he finds some notes. Chris begins reading. Chris now knows more about Code Veronica. He makes his way down to the lower levels of the lab where he pushes a button. This opens up a bed where he's able to pick up the fourth winged object. With the lower level now fully explored, Chris now heads up to the upper level.
Claire? Is that you, Claire?
Chris?
No! The door won't open. Hey, is Steve with you?
Steve, he...
Listen, Claire. We have to get out of here immediately. Can you unlock it from the inside?
No, I can't. Chris, there should be a self-destruct system somewhere. If you activate it, all the electronic locks might be deactivated.
Chris needs to activate the self-destruct sequence. He begins exploring the new area. After clearing out some rooms of the undead, Chris heads into an office where he finds a key for the sterile room. Chris then makes his way to the exact room. Once there, Chris uses the key and heads through the door. In this room, he finds a tiger with 2 different coloured eyes. Chris takes both of the jewels and heads out of the room. Chris then heads back up the staircase and into one of the bedrooms, where he uses the blue jewel. This opens up a hidden room. In there is a second bedroom, where Chris inserts the second jewel. He then takes the metal disc. With this new item in hand, Chris heads back to the previous bedroom and inserts the disc into the record player. This reveals a secret upper level. Chris heads on up. Up there is a dining room. On the table, Chris finds a dragonfly object. Upon inspection, Chris realises that he can add the winged objects he found earlier on. With this now done, Chris heads out of the dining room area. He then heads through the prison chambers he was in earlier and up a flight of stairs. Up there is a locked door. Chris inserts the dragonfly object. This opens up the door. Chris can now head inside. After killing a couple of zombies, Chris comes across the self-destruct sequence. He uses the umbrella card and enters the security code.
This facility will detonate in 5 minutes. All doors are now unlocked.
Chris and Claire have 5 minutes to get out of there.
You made it!
Of course. Come on, let's get out of here.
What are we gonna do?
Okay, turn the key clockwise simultaneously on 3.
Got it.
One, 2, 3.
Initiating energy injection. Warning. The safety bomb will not be released until charging is complete.
I'll keep her busy. Just go for the emergency elevator.
Chris, but...
I can take care of this. Just go.
You have to make it. Don't die on me.
Chris begins firing at Alexia. He needs to give Claire enough time to escape. He uses every weapon he has. He first begins firing with his pistol and magnum. Chris then pulls out his crossbow and begins firing bolts at her. Chris does not stop firing. Chris picks up the linear launcher and aims it at Alexia.
Chris!
Move.
Claire! No!
Chris!
Well done, Chris. It turns out that Alexia's work wasn't much of anything. So now, the only thing left is revenge.
Let her go, Wesker! You don't want her.
Fine.
Claire!
Today's a good day. I came for Alexia, but killing you is even better.
Sorry to disappoint you, but Alexia is gone.
That's no longer a concern to me. I have Steve to work with.
What?
Steve.
In his body, there's still a living T. Alexia virus. Steve should be a good specimen. Maybe he'll come back alive, just as I did, and be able to see your sister again.
You freak!
Don't you touch him!
I'm sorry, dear heart, but my men have already taken him.
You get out of here, Claire.
But what about?
As a surviving member of STARS, I have to finish this.
Remember your promise.
I'll end this once and for all. Say hello to my comrades who you've killed.
I don't know where you get your confidence, Chris.
The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel evacuate immediately. The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel evacuate immediately.
Sure, I'm not human anymore. But just look at the power I've gained. Magnificent, don't you think? Nice try.
Wesker.
Today's your lucky day. Next time we meet, don't count on another.
Next time.
Until we meet again.
Chris, where are you? Chris!
Hey, you know that I always keep my promises.
Chris, promise me. Please promise that you won't leave me alone again.
I'm sorry, Claire, but it's not over yet. There's still something we've got to do.
You mean...
Yeah, it's payback time. We've got to destroy Umbrella. Now, let's finish this once and for all.
Chris and Claire have done it. They have survived one of the most harrowing nights of their lives, but for now, it is over. I'm going to keep this short. Resident Evil Code Veronica is up there for me as one of the best. In fact, if I'm being unbiased, I would probably say it is the best. I have a soft spot for Resident Evil 2, as that was my childhood. However, Code Veronica is a really well made game. The upgrades, thanks to better technology, allow us to see what Mikami and his team are capable of. The different environments and the more elaborate story really do make this game shine, and for me, it even holds up today. It also brings everything to a nice end. We see Chris escape the mansion in Resident Evil 1, and then we see Claire searching for him in Resident Evil 2. To finally have them united really does make you feel great. You can see why this could have been the third entry in the series. It would have been a really cool trilogy, but Resident Evil 3 is a very good game, so I have no complaints. To summarise, Resident Evil Code Veronica is one of the best games ever made. Please let me know what you think of Code Veronica. I'm interested to know what your opinions are. Thank you to everyone that watches this video. I am very grateful for all of your support. Thank you.